So, what does being a Christian rapper truly entail? Can you describe, like, does that mean that, because, people have different levels of worship, commitment to the Bible, religious beliefs, have variation and stuff. Like, does that mean you abstain from regular hip hop now? Like, you can't listen to things like with cussing? Like, how does that work?
I mean, I just naturally just try to stay away from things that just doesn't edify me or would put me. Bro, I feel like music can have a real spiritual aspect to it. And I'm a hip hop baby, bro. Grew up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's gonna put me in a bad headspace, it's not about do's and don'ts. It's about me. Like, and if it's gonna put me in a bad headspace, I'm not gonna listen to it. Sometimes I'll listen to stuff and I'm just like, ugh, like, yo, if I have if my mind is truly renewed and changed, curse words start to sound like curse words. Murder starts to sound like murder, and it's hard for me, being somebody that is trying to be active in my community and in communities across the world, to get people out of gangs, to put their guns down, to put the drugs down. And then, from how hypocritical of me would it be to listen to stuff that glorifies it? I feel like, and I understand why those rappers make that music, because I once upon a time did that, but it's counterproductive to what I'm trying to accomplish in life. So it's like, nah, I can't support that, because I would be fake. I'd be a hypocrite. So it's not like, oh, I'm a Christian and that's on the list, I can't do it. It's more so, nah, son, like, I understand what it feels like to be on the receiving end, pause, of listening to what they're saying, and then being like, I gotta do this because my role model is saying to do this. So
Mm.
my role model is, my mom and dad are telling me XYZ, follow this path, but I'm looking and our lights are cut off. And my dad is paying the next door neighbor $50 to run an extension cord, or $25, and 50 would be too much, to run an extension cord so we could keep the fridge cold because our lights are off. So you telling me stuff, but what I see you do, like, I don't want to struggle like that. But Nas said, but Jay said, and Jay said crime. I'm the example that crime do pay. I said, okay, so that's what I need to do. So to think it's just entertainment for everybody is moronic. There are people that live by it. It's the soundtrack to their lives. It would be moronic for me to say that it has that same impact on everyone. There are people that can listen to it and it's just entertainment, but there are people, me being used to, I was one of them, where it is the soundtrack to your life. So you go and you live it out because they're laying a blueprint down for you. So that I stay away from stuff that is going to be harmful to my people. I'm mature enough where if J. Cole drops, I could listen to it just to preview it. If the Nas dropping the King's Disease, my favorite MC of all time, I could listen to it and see, okay, yeah, what he's doing, and critique it objectively. You know what I'm saying? But I still know, like, if the message is foul, well, I'll be a hypocrite to bump that joint. You really my op. Like, you not my op, but your message is an op to what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to build my people up. As far as now, what does Christian rap entail? I'm just trying to, I believe in my heart of hearts, and I would just say, I know that I know that I know that I have this real relationship with Jesus. It's changed my life tremendously in an amazing way. And I want to tell people about that. It would be insane for me to, like, all right, let me use this as an example. If there were somebody that found a home remedy with stuff in the cabinet, they made a concoction and whatever they took cures cancer, and everyone on the block is, you got five of your neighbors that got cancer, and you don't share your concoction with them, you're a freaking douchebag. Like, so I've tasted and seen that God is good, experienced this healing, this transformation in my life. Man, how foul would it be for me to not share that with everyone else? And he who has ears will hear. And if they don't want to receive it and go another way, it's just my job to tell them. I can't bend anybody's arm. So that's it. I'm just speaking to those who would listen. I want to tell everybody about what Jesus has done in my life and what he could do in their life.
But there's not like a, say, a Christian hip hop book where it's like we all identify and go by this, like don't consume this type of music or content, or like is there like a pathway like that?
I think there's unwritten rules. Sometimes there's expectations that they'll have with and 90% of the time, those unwritten rules come from zealous, immature people with limited life experience and limited experience in their walks with God. They don't understand the nuances. It's just very black and white. So the old Datin who had to cut, I gave you the metaphor like cutting an arm off. You're leaving it behind. Your expectation for other people now is they need to do it like you did it. This is what got me on the straight and narrow. So you need to do it. You need to leave that alone. You can't do this that way. And that's always from somebody real immature that hasn't figured everything out themselves. They're a little less merciful and gracious. They mean well, but they don't understand the nuances.
Right, for sure. So in the past, you've had people refer to rap music as the devil's music, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a few years ago, Jason Whitlock, you know who that is?
No, I don't.
Jason Whitlock, he's a sports analyst formerly on ESPN.
Oh,
He
okay.
actually, yeah, he said Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Nipsey Hussle were soldiers for the devil. Like he went on to compare rap music to Satanism, and he said they're soldiers for the devil. They've cut a deal for the money, for the fame, for the attention, for the women, for the girls, and everything. Um, they've taken a paycheck for this, and basically saying that they're demonizing and grooming our kids. Do you feel like rap music to a certain extent has done that?
Absolutely, 100%. And I understand why people get offended because we say hip hop, and hip hop as a whole is not that. Hip hop is beautiful. Hip hop can be life giving. Hip hop can be a tool to do good, to unite cultures, to unite people. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people using the tool of hip hop. So it's not hip hop itself, but some people use the tool of hip hop to convey a message that destroys communities, that destroys people, that keeps this cycle of death going on. Meanwhile, they're in a mansion. They sipping on something that these kids can't afford. They sleeping on pillows that cost more than the parents' whole bedroom set. Like they they glorify a lifestyle that they no longer live, and it normalizes it for the listeners, and it desensitizes. They've turned like false, fake, made up lifestyles into like this. Like kids really trying to live that joint. Like, yo, they was never on the block like that. They was never doing this and this and that. But you've normalized that. The whole concept of sliding on people, sliding on your ops, and what's going on in Chicago, what's going on in North, what's going on in parts in LA. Like, so I do believe that there are artists um that have used this thing in greed to destroy their communities. One thing that we don't do, and there's somebody that right now their fingers are getting ready to comment, and I'm gonna rebuttal before they even do. The the thing is, bro, is we do focus too much on the artist, even though they're grown men and they can say no, right? Even though, so I'm not completely taking the blame off of them, but it's these A&Rs, bro. It's these record execs. I went into Def Jam Records and They walked me in and they sat me down and he spoke to me like a king. Like, yo, I'm the next big thing. And I played them some music that was almost positive. Still had profanity. I was no Christian rapper by any means. It was a little woke, some woke music. And at that point, I already stopped hustling. I'm already seeing the negative. So I'm just like, yo, it's not like let's kumbaya, no Black Eyed Peas type music, but it's just like, yo, trying to get people out the stupor. And after all that treatment, when it was done, he's straight. And this is a white dude. And he's just like, yo, we sell guns to the hood and blunts and 40s to college kids. Like, get up out of here. And this is somebody that doesn't have to live that lifestyle. Never, he's not in the hood, never been in the hood. And he's telling me that that's what I need to give them so that they can push it to the people. So the difference between like somebody that's willing to just, yo, be 10 toes down on who they are, they're gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna take a check to kill my people. I'm not signing a contract in blood. Other people don't have the same morals. They just like whatever, this is rap music. Just pay me. I'll say whatever you want me to do. Oh, you got some lipstick and a dress for me? Put that lipstick in a dress for me so I could, make other little fatherless boys think it's okay to be in this lipstick and this dress. Like I'm telling you, it really be happening. People ain't gonna like it, but tough, kick rocks. Like it's the truth. So yeah, I think it has been used as a tool, but it doesn't just stop with hip hop. It's movies, it's rock, it's pop, it's everything. Everything that has that can influence people. If you get the wrong person, it's the right person, but with the wrong motives behind it, and he could take anybody with a talent and get them to do what he wants them to do. Here you go. Take care of your family. Who cares about what those kids will go through? Your kids will be all right. Your family will be all right. Yo, tell them to do this. And you don't even have to say flat out. You just need to make the lifestyle appealing and look cool. Yo, Hitler, there's a quote from Hitler like, yo, if you want the children, take control of the music. Something like that. Probably messed up the quote, but he even understood this. So it's like, yo, man, I've been to different hoods where the average dudes don't go. Doing gang ministry. I'm there, boots to the ground. And I see the impact that the music has on these kids. They really trying to imitate the art, bro. It's when people be like, nah, I think the art imitates life. No, man. It could have, it probably started that way. But
That's what I was just about to say to you, is that it seems like it was reporting what was happening in these neighborhoods first, right?
First.
But then
then until they started adding some spice on the stories. And then it's just like now they just trying to make it, they're reporting and there's exaggeration behind it. So now the listener wants to mimic that exaggeration. So it just gets worse and gets worse and gets worse. And yo, there used to be like clean love songs. Now the R&B today is like, it's insane, bro. Like the way they be talking is like a rap song. It's almost like how
Exactly.
Snoop and Nate Dogg and them used to be back in the day when I was a little kid and I couldn't listen to that. Everything is like that now. It's like, what do you think that's gonna produce, bro? If you hear something long enough, you will be desensitized. And that abnormal thing that they're talking about was just normal. It's just normal.
It's interesting because like if you look at Melly Mel, the message, right? Broken glass everywhere. And people pissing on, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, these are
just don't care.
Yeah, like this is
his last verse is one of my favorite verses of all time, but go ahead.
This is actually like painting a picture of the harsh realities of that time, right? But after that, you're saying like it's when people started putting the extra sauce on it because of like I think America's infatuation with crime and gangsters and all that, right?
Yeah, but what Melly Mel did was just painted a beautiful a picture of what was going on around him. He never once glorified it. Describing it is not glorifying it. Glorifying is saying slide and put the bullet in your head and I'll
Right.
kill her, I'm dump the burner. But like, yo, you moving, you selling drugs to your own people, like that's glorifying it. That's glorifying it. There's a big difference.
Yeah, man. Um, it's crazy. I want to ask you about this, man. You've been a pretty big supporter of my channel for quite some time. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking about longer than just the past 6 months, where I felt like my channel really kind of made a turn, and a lot of people started messing with me. But before I had interviewed somebody by the name of Tina Torres.
Mhm.
You remember her?
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. Shout out to Tina. Do you believe in, like, are you a strong believer in energy and frequency?
No, I'm not.
You're not. Okay.
Mhm.
So, cuz she has said like how the 808 drum has a dark frequency, and it activates like certain chakra that promotes like this negativity. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I have a lot of 808s and beats in that frequency. They don't make me feel dark. They don't make my listeners feel dark. I mean, they feel life from the message. Uh,
Mhm.
I I I do believe that there is some like there's something there about the frequencies. Like, when you put sand on a plate and at certain frequencies it causes the sand to form a shape. You know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
something there. So does that have any effect on our actual bodies? I would have to say so, yeah. But I believe me, and this is not like a hill I'm trying to die on, and it's not something that I've studied that I'm so educated I could speak on. But I believe it's really what's being poured into your heart and into your mind. That really has the effect opposed to a frequency like, that all of a sudden you heard this frequency. So now you're gonna go do some dumb stuff because of a frequency. I really believe it's words that have power more than
Got you.
a chakra. So the word that's spoken on it can make or break. There's the power of life and death in the tongue, and it's what are you speaking? You speaking life or you speaking death? And I believe if you speaking life over that 808, that's boom, boom. Like, are you speaking life? If they listening, they gonna hear it. They're not gonna be like, I don't hear what he's saying because I'm feeling real dark because of this frequency right now. That's just my
Mhm.
thoughts on it.
So her background, she was raised in the church, but it was like a borderline cult, with like her father was like kind of like pretty much like the leader, right? Um, so she's like very critical of religion. I personally don't think religion is bad, but religion can be used wrong by people, to
Absolutely.
do wrong things, right? How do you feel about that? And like, do you think that there are people within the Christian hip hop space that are not genuine, that use it for the wrong reasons?
Absolutely. I would say this. If if I were Satan, wouldn't I want to use the most powerful thing in the world as a tool to if I can manipulate it and twist it and get you to see it through a wrong lens, then my mission is accomplished. So I don't it always baffles me when somebody sees any religion and they're just like, yo, how, but it's used to do bad. Like, so because someone used it to do bad, you got to throw the whole thing out. Like, no, bro, I believe the word of God has life in it. And if you give a little bit of truth out and you use that as the carrot to draw you in, then that's it. I got you with a little bit of truth, but now I'm gonna pump you with more lies and then manipulate you. So I think that's why there's cults out there. There's people that use the word of God to do foul things. There's Christian rappers who was just like, yo, you know what? I started Christian rapping because once upon a time I believed this stuff. Now I don't. or I just don't want to live it. So, but I'm gonna keep doing it because they know who I am. I get a little bag over here and and I could, probably get some groupies at some shows and I don't know. So I'm do I know anyone doing that? No. Would I say there's nobody doing that? Absolutely. I'm pretty sure there's hundreds. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Got
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Yeah.